In December 2016, about a month after the 2016 presidential election, former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg appeared in an interview where he talked about the fact that Bernie Sanders could have become the Democratic nominee and he probably would have had a pretty good chance at beating Donald Trump. But the problem is, according to Bloomberg, the youth vote didn't show up for him. And had they done that, they absolutely would have voted for Bernie. Now, Bloomberg wasn't telling us this to be one of those Bernie would have won folks. He was telling us this as a warning. And the warning is that young people, young voters are too stupid to know that Bernie Sanders is not a good choice. Here is what Michael Bloomberg said in these comments at Oxford's University School of Business. I don't mean to knock young people. I wish I was one again. But young people listened to Bernie Sanders and they said, yeah, Democratic, that's good. Socialism, yeah, that's the social media stuff. Because our kids no longer learn civics in school, they no longer study Western history, they no longer read Western literature. We're trying to change and dumb down the system. And if you don't know what happened in the past, you're going to have to relive it. So Bloomberg thinks young voters are just stupid. You're stupid because you think socialism means Twitter and Facebook. Now, I have never met anyone, young or old, who thinks that democratic socialism somehow refers to social media. I mean, maybe a scripted character in a sitcom who's designed to be dumb would think something like that. But actual real people out here in the United States, regardless of their education level, I don't think that they think that, Michael. Here's the problem with people like Bloomberg. He doesn't understand why young voters are attracted to Bernie Sanders' ideas and the idea of democratic socialism. They do, young voters, understand that we're not talking about communism. We're not talking about full-blown actual socialism. We're talking about democratic socialism, like what they have in many European countries where constituents are guaranteed health care, many of them tuition-free college. And yes, they may pay a little bit more in taxes for those things, but overall they save money because the government provides more services. And those countries are consistently ranked as happier and healthier and economically more powerful than the United States. That's what the young people understand. Why? They may not be learning it in school, but they are in fact out there reading, Michael. They're reading articles. They're studying this. They have more access to information than you did at their age. And believe it or not, they're using it. Sure, young people, like all of us when we were those ages, do stupid things. And now, unfortunately, they get to post those stupid things online. We didn't have to do that as kids, but we would have had they existed. And some people will clip out those little videos of, the cinnamon challenge or whatever, thing is of the day and say, look how dumb young people are. You want them choosing the president? You're going to pick out like 6 people out of a country of more than 300 million and say, well, they represent all young people. They're awful and stupid. We can't trust them. No. Most young voters are educated. They know what's happening. And more importantly, the reason they gravitate towards this democratic socialism like that which is preached by Bernie Sanders is because capitalism has never worked for them a single day in their entire lives. That's the hard truth that people like Bloomberg don't want to accept. He has been a huge beneficiary of the American capitalistic system, made $60 billion off of it. The rest of us, we went to college, got tens of thousands of dollars in debt, graduated with our degrees, and then struggled to try to find something within that field. And when we did find something, either it wasn't a good enough paying job or just didn't work out. Job left. Job went to another country. And they're trying to replace us with a gig economy where everybody is a contract worker. Yeah, capitalism has failed young voters. And people like Michael Bloomberg, who have been rare to be the beneficiaries of capitalism, will never understand the appeal of paying a little bit more in taxes to get a lot more back from the federal government. But that doesn't make the young voters stupid. it makes them aware of their own situation and the failures that people like Michael Bloomberg clearly illustrate for us.
Hey everyone, you know what this is. It's the end screen, where I'm supposed to beg you to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content from Ring of Fire. But what I really want to do is ask you to consider becoming a member for more exclusive content and perks, including early access videos and exclusive videos. Check out the link in the description or go to youtube.com/theringoffire/membership.